Hi, hi, hi. Happy Tuesday, December 20th, 2022, also known as the day I finished my rough draft, or the day I finished my first draft, the day my book was ready to go to the editor so that a professional could be like, girl, here's where you need help. I'm very excited about that. And so I thought that we would do a live stream today where I answered your questions. So let's do a live Q&A, please. Hi, guys. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie Perry. And this YouTube channel is called Stephanie Perry Media, where I take you behind the scenes of a media business, which is my YouTube channel, my other channel, Stephanie Perry, which has over 130,000 subscribers, as well as my book, which is soon to be out in the world. Welcome. Make sure that you're subscribed to this channel and turn on notifications if you would like to see some behind the scenes media business stuff, some women entrepreneurship stuff, right? Some stuff for Black women entrepreneurs, and some stuff about growing a YouTube channel to market your business. Again, subscribe and welcome. Okay, hi guys. Thanks so much, Frankie. Hey, Samantha. Okay. Hi, Lucille. Hey, Doris. Hey, Venus. Thanks so much, guys. Frankie, I'm glad that you're here. Okay, so Frankie hollered at me and fussed at me not too long ago about how I was dragging my feet about writing my book. And she sat down and she was like, here's what you need to do, and here's how you need to get it done. So this part is done, Frankie, and I hope that I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that you're here so that you know, like I got to this part. I got this part done. Yeah, my book is Job Detox, a workbook for Black women to stop striving and get free. I have a wait list. If you want to make sure that you get an email when this book is on out in the world, right? If you want to make sure that you get an email, actually when it's time to pre-order the book, then I will give you a link actually, I don't know. Let me think about this. I probably just need to write it out. Wait list for Job Detox. It's gonna take me a minute. Okay, it's a long title. A workbook for Black women to stop striving and get free. All right, and then it's at vicarious.com/job detox. .com/job detox. I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste this so I don't have to rewrite this every time, because I'm about to open up this Prosecco. And I don't want to have to type that in every time. All right. Okay. So this part of the book being done does not mean the book will be out in a week, right? There's some time still. The editor's going to give me some feedback, and then I'm going to have to do some reworking of things, and then other things are going to happen. So there's still some time, but if you just want to make sure that it doesn't slip under your radar, and you want to make sure that you get notified when it's time, then go ahead and go to vicarious.com/job detox and get on the wait list. Okay, hi guys. All right, so some of you guys gave me some questions a couple of days ago when I went live and ask me some questions. I have some questions that I want to work through, but mostly I just want to chat with you guys and see what's going on with you guys. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Crystal. Some of you guys I just saw this morning. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Candace from Gentle Yoga for Everyone. Hey, Audrey. Hello, Angela. Hi, guys. Hey, Sandra. Audrey. Hey, Auntie Carla. Hi, Mom. Hey, Korea. Hey, Francine. Hey, the Swadad Life. Hi. Hello, Big Sis Dula. Hello, Words Move Poetry. I have a couple of your questions in particular. Thanks so much, Adelia. Thank you, guys. Hi, Jessica. Hey, Linda. All right, so we ready? Are we doing this as an official happy hour? And what are we happy houring with? I bought some Prosecco for this particular occasion. I took this Prosecco with me to Santa Teresa because I thought I was going to finish in Santa Teresa, and I didn't. So I brought it back here with me to San Jose, and so it's time. I'm gonna open it up. I've been carrying this bad boy around with me for a few weeks. It's been a few weeks. I got some peach juice here. I don't have any like fancy drink glasses in this Airbnb. There's no special occasion glasses. So I'm just drinking it out of a regular glass. But It's go time. So tell us what your, Amita says she doesn't have any bubbly today, but I've got Pinot Noir poured and ready. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for joining in with me. All right. All right, now it's a party. Okay, celebration. We're celebrationing. Let's celebrate. Okay, let me get my thing together. Okay, my Bellini. I actually have some fruit, but I forgot to pull it out. I have some like blackberries and blueberries. I have some berries, but that I was gonna put in here, but I forgot to get them out, and I don't feel like going to the refrigerator. All right, what's going on? Kathy says this is a great choice. Okay, good. I'm gonna drink it from a straw because, well, maybe not. Let's see. Let's see if I need to drink it from a straw. Sometimes, let's see. Let's see. I might not need a straw. I'll put the straw in my water glass. All right, Auntie Carla's got iced coffee and homemade Christmas cookies. I just bought some Christmas cookies at the grocery store. I needed some stuff. I needed some sugar and some stuff. So I was like, they have the little Danish cookies in the tin, the little blue tin. So I bought that. Okay, cheers. Okay, cheers. Well, let's see. Let us toast to um, the things that we thought we couldn't do that we did. The things that we've survived, we made it through. And to the things we put on the back burner that we're ready to light a fire up under. To that, and to us, just to us. Cheers, guys. Cheers, guys. Cheers. All right, writing a book, it's hard. I don't know. I didn't know if I was ever going to get it done. But that it's not done. I'm celebrating, but it's not done. I'm aware that it's not done. But this was a real hurdle. This was a real hurdle that I didn't know. I don't know. There was a point where I was like, forget it. Forget it. But now I'm feeling really good. I feel like I've made enough. There's a point where you're doing something, you've made enough progress where you know you're going to finish it, even if you don't finish it that day. You're like, I'm at the point where I know it's going to be done. And I think with some help, I'll be able to get it. It'll be the, as good as I envision it. I envision it being a good book, not just a book that I've gotten out, but a good book. The first book, but a good book. Cheers, guys. Cheers, guys. All right. So I'm going to get into some questions. Some of you guys gave me some questions in advance, so I appreciate that. And they were kind of like lumped into a couple of categories, so I think that was pretty easy, like pretty good. Like we're going to be able to, answer some questions in groups. So the first questions were on writing. So we'll get those out of the way. And then if you have questions about like marketing, we'll talk writing, we'll talk marketing, we'll talk YouTube marketing, of course, and YouTube channel stuff. We won't talk house sitting and moving abroad and career break stuff. That's not this channel. But we'll talk that kind of stuff. Probably won't talk too much about Costa Rica, except that I like it and I'm happy. But I did get a couple of questions. Words Move Poetry asked me, and you're here today, so I'm glad you're here so I can get your questions in first. What was my process for writing and editing? I have a huge opportunity to improve my writing process. So for the first half of my book, my writing process was just, I will write when I feel like it. I am an outliner. I'm an outliner. No matter what I'm doing, I'm outlining it. Whether it's a YouTube video or a book or whatever. And I've done some ghost writing for some other people. As back in the back 2017, 2018, 2019, I was a virtual assistant and I did some ghost writing for some other people. So I'm a heavy outliner. I like my outlines to be detailed, not just like a chapter name, but like where does the person start in this chapter? What do I need to overcome? What are the objections I'm going to need to overcome in this chapter? Where do I want them to end up? What are the questions I want them to be asking themselves during this chapter? So I got the outline mostly finished I don't know, more than a year ago. Not kidding. I'm not kidding. More than a year ago, I got the outline mostly finished and had a solid place to get started. And then I took a boot camp called Bestseller Boot Camp from Jeff Goins. Jeff Goins is a writer who wrote Real Artists Don't Starve and some other books. Real Artists Don't Starve is the one I learned about him from. And he had a podcast for a long time. He may still have it, called Goins Writer? No, that's his website is Goins Writer. He had a podcast called something else. So I took his boot camp, and one of his main takeaways, or one of the main takeaways for me from the boot camp, was to make my chapter titles buzzworthy, right? Make chapter titles that people, if people don't read the book, if all they do is open it up and go to the table of contents, they will want to interview me on their podcast and on their YouTube channels. You know what I mean? So instead of me writing a book about, because the book is Job Detox, and originally my outline was very heavy on the idea of the detox and very drug centric because I was a pharmacy technician and I know about when someone has come into the hospital who is overdosing, here are the steps, right? Here are the steps to detox this person. And he was like, lean out of that. Don't go too heavy into that. It's okay that that's the title and that you have some sections of the book that are that way. But your chapter titles need to be clear and punchy enough that when somebody reads it, they'll want to interview you on their podcast. I was like, okay. And then his assistant or his coworker was like, do you have any catchphrases? And I was like, do I have catchphrases? I got t-shirts, okay? I got t-shirts. So it was pretty easy for me to take that and turn them into chapters, right? Just things that I have already made videos about and turn them into chapters. So my writing process in the beginning was just pick a chapter out and write about that thing. I knew I wanted the chapters to be 2,000 words, I think. Some of them are not a lot longer, but some of them are longer than that. And I just sit down and write. A wonderful thing is that I have done enough YouTube videos that I know how to cover a subject, right? Like I know how to tell you my opinion on a subject. And so being able to say, like one of my chapter titles really is waiting until your retirement age to live is a scam, right? I got that, right? I can sit and write 2,000 words on that and walk you through why that's the case. And then the next chapter is here's what you need to do about it, right? So my writing process was really just pick a chapter, write about that chapter, not in order. And then on, I don't know, beginning of this month, I think, maybe late last month, we started to get together and do the writing here on this YouTube channel. We've been doing co-writing sessions here on this channel, and that was helpful. Writing in 25-minute bursts is not the best, but I didn't only do 25 minutes. Some of the chapters that I wrote together during the live streams, I had already started, and I needed to fix. I wouldn't recommend that you just well, actually, I don't know. I don't know. Like, part of me is like, don't write your book in 25-minute bursts. Write it in longer chunks. But on the other hand, those 25-minute bursts, I got through half a book in a month and the other half of the book in a year by doing it the other way. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the 25-minute burst is the way to write a book for me. So that's my process. That was your question. That's my process. Hi, guys. Hi, Alicia. So Alicia has books up on the internet that I didn't know until very recently. Hi, Stacy. Hi, guys. I'm just answering some questions. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Sewing, Growing. Hey, Sassy Linda. Hey, Nicole LaShawn. What's going on, guys? All right. Yeah. So Crystal says I need to do some writing this winter break. I hope you continue to do the co-working sessions. I plan to, but not 4 days a week. We've been doing 4 days a week, y'all. 5:30 in the morning is a wonderful time for me, it turns out. Wonderful time for me to get up and do things. I really like it. But I don't want to have to be out of bed at 5:30 every morning. But we'll probably keep it up, and we'll probably do it at least on Mondays. I really like starting the week like that. Starting the week, being able to say, I checked off this thing that I've been putting off for the longest time. And now it's only 6:30 in the morning and that thing is done. 6:30 on Monday, that thing that I've been putting off for all this time is done. So we'll probably still meet on Mondays because Monday for me is not really Monday. My days off right now are Tuesday and Wednesday, and I think I'm going to keep that schedule for a while. Tuesday and Wednesday are my actual weekend, and then sometimes Thursday, because I still do coaching calls, and I do coaching calls Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Monday is not really Monday. Monday is more like Friday for me. So it's a good day. So anyway, Crystal, I hope we will. I was looking forward to joining in when school was out. I think we'll keep doing it. We're not going to do it the week of Christmas, next week. We're not going to do it next week. But I'm pretty sure we'll keep going because I like it. It's been really helpful to me. I need accountability or I'm not going to do it. If there's nobody who's like, you said you were going to do this, right? If there's nobody who's doing that to me, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. My puffs are they're starting to dry now. I washed my hair and they're starting to dry. So they're not dripping anymore, but they're also not even. Ash inspired. I say that every time. I'm struggling with this screen name, Ash. Ash Inspired Living said, what motivated me to write a book? Frankly, I knew somebody was going to write it. Somebody is going to write a book, right, about Black women no longer centering work in their lives. If I want my words to be out, I need to do it, right? Somebody's going to do it. It may already exist and they just haven't marketed it in a way that we know about it yet, right? Somebody's going to do it. I don't mind saying that part of a good portion of my motivation for most of the things I actually accomplish is that I know somebody's going to do it. And if I want it done and I want it done in a way that I like, I'm going to be the one to do it, right? Have you had ideas? We talked about this the other day, how I invented the Snuggie. I used to wear my bathrobe backwards, or how I invented Spanx because I used to keep the control top when the pantyhose were no more good. They had runs in the legs or holes in the feet. I would cut the control top out and just wear the control top, right? Any idea you have, somebody's going to do it. Okay? Now, are you okay with that? If you're not okay with somebody else putting your idea out into the world, you need to be the one to get it done. That is a good portion of my motivation to write the book. Because I got the YouTube videos. My book is largely things that I've said on YouTube. Not a whole lot new. My book is YouTube stuff, right? The same things that we talk about all the time. Don't wait till your retirement age to start living. These jobs ain't loyal. That's the entire chapter, right? But somebody's going to write this book and somebody's going to be on stage speaking about this thing. And I want to be one of the people. I don't have to be the only person. But I want to be one of the people, right? Because I want to make sure that they get some of this right? Because I don't want them to sneak back in. But sometimes it's okay to hustle and grind when you really, no, it's never okay. It's never okay. I wrote my book in 25-minute spurts. I'm not going to be the person talking about, sometimes you do need to grind. Sometimes even if you're exhausted, you just push through. I'm not a push through person. So if I want this book to be done this way, I needed to be the one to write it. So what inspired me? Of course, I want more Black women to read the book, right? If you have a book out in the world, you have another way for people to find you and for you to find them. And of course, I want some, I guess, credibility. I want some of the credibility that having a book brings, right? Not just a YouTube channel. There are people who are never going to let me speak on their stage if I say, hi, I'm Stephanie Perry and I'm a YouTuber, even with 130,000 subscribers, right? But hi, I'm Stephanie with a book. Even if my book sold 20 copies, that would give me some more credibility to get up on some stages. So I want those things. And I really love books. I'm here in Costa Rica. I'm here not on a whole lot of suitcases. I'm gone from Delaware for 6 months, and I've got, I think I had six actual books that I brought with me, like physical books, and I have a Kindle. And I listen to audiobooks, and some of them, this one I bought the audiobook and the physical book, right? I just really like books, and I really want to see my book out in the world. If you have, I invented Spanx. If you have an idea, seriously, so does somebody else. So does somebody else. You have an idea? Okay, good. Okay. The execution is what matters. Doing the thing is what matters. Everybody's got ideas, right? So if I would be okay with somebody else writing a book about job detox and, all of that, and, then I probably would never get the book out. I would never write it, but I want to be in that number. I want to make sure it's done this way, right? With this perspective, and for these women, for Black women. I had a publisher come and talk to me because they published a book on self-love for women, just women. And they needed to add a book to their arsenal for Black women. And they came and talked to me. I didn't like the numbers. They weren't offering me any number. They were giving me what's the word? Sharecropper pricing, sharecropper money. So it was a no. But I mean, I know they've already talked to me. They've already reached out to me. I know that a book publisher who already has some books in this space is looking to write a book for Black women about it was more of a self-love and self-care book than about a job detox. But right, somebody's writing this book today. Right. I talked to them back in March when I was in Curacao. So they may have found somebody, and that book may be coming out tomorrow for all I know, right? Somebody's writing the books. The idea is nothing. The idea doesn't matter. It's the execution. I want to make sure I was the one getting it done. Words Move Poetry said that there's nothing new under the sun. It's the perspective that we bring. That's right. The idea is not new. Your idea is not new, and it's probably not original. You are original. I am original. My perspective isn't original. But somebody else could write this book tomorrow, right? And have it out and then be speaking places, and I'll be sitting back like, I said that first. I said that first. Remember, July 2020, I said waiting for retirement age to live is a scam. You know what I mean? Anya says this is a wake-up call. Yes. Right? If you're this kind of, some people are not competitive people, and some people don't have that spark in them, but I'm Connie Perry's daughter, and she's competitive. That little piece of me, that was enough for me to be like, I got to get this done. And then Beyonce gonna go out and tell the whole world to release your job. I'm like, I need to hurry up. She just said, release your job. That was what, August? August? When Beyonce says release your job, you know somebody's writing some books about how to quit jobs. Somebody's out here writing some books. That was enough for me to be like, I got to get it done. I got to get it done. It's going to happen. My idea is not so original and so new that nobody would ever come up with this idea. I know it, right? Yeah, right? So let me get myself out there. Yes, Words Move Poetry, plenty sharecropper offers out there. Yeah, when they talk to me, I already have, so in Curacao, I hit the 100,000 subscriber mark. So when they talk to me, I either had 100,000 subscribers or 90-something, right? 90-something thousand subscribers on my YouTube channel. This is a book publishing company that's not one of the big five, right? Not one of the majors, but a book publishing company that has books that are doing amazingly well. On Amazon, you can tell people's book rankings, and they had books that were doing amazingly well. I can't decide if I want these down or not. So they were making the money. This is a small book publisher, an independent book publisher who was making the money. They had a book that was selling, I forget how many thousands of copies per month, but it was selling really well, right? And they offered me a flat rate of $3,000 to write the book and an extra $1,000 to market the book. And I'm like, I have 100,000 subscribers, right? You know that this is pennies. This is not a good offer. But they tried it, right? That's part of the reason that I would love to publish other people's books. Marketing, which I think is something that I know, I understand, and like having just a desire to do business in a fair way, right? In a not sharecroppery way, in a more equitable, equitable way is the best way to put it. Okay, a divine artist says keep them down. Okay, I keep putting them up, putting them down, putting them behind my ears. I can't decide. I went to the store today. Like I said, I needed sugar and I needed some other stuff. And I went to the hair dye aisle, but they didn't have an assortment. They didn't have what I needed. So I didn't buy any hair dye. I really would like to get my hair dyed. You see that? I really would like to, but I don't know when it's going to happen. Yeah, Tiffany. Yes, right. So if you put a book on Amazon for $7.99, right, which is a price that you see a lot for self-published work. If you put a book on Amazon for $7.99, your royalty from Amazon is $4.20, right? So basically, they were telling me that I get paid for the first 1,000 books and nothing else, right? If $4.20, if they were offering me $4,000 max to write this book, then that means every book that sells after 1,000 copies, I get zero. I don't see it. I don't see it. It was a terrible, and no royalties. It was just a flat fee with no royalties. So I was like, I would never. I won't be doing this. But somebody probably will. And so I just need to make sure that my book is out, right? Get a book out in the number. Hi, Halisi. I know, twice in one day. Yeah, we're just having a few drinks. I'm having a little Prosecco and peach, a little Bellini, afternoon Bellini time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. A divine artist says, I love the 25-minute writing spurts. It's especially effective when you have to stay focused on workity work. Yeah, yeah. I think it's good. Whoever came up with the Pomodoro method, I appreciate it. Okay, all right. So those were the questions about writing the book. My process and what motivated me. Seriously, like what motivated me to actually write. There's a difference between what motivated me, why did I have the idea for the book? And that's because part of it is because when I worked for coaches, I saw that them having books really gave them the leg up when they pitched people, when they pitched to be a speaker somewhere, when they pitched to be a guest on someone's show. The book was the thing. The book was the expression is your book is your business card. The book was what got them in the door. And so, right, I need a book, right? A lot of you need a book if you want to be out in the world speaking on your thing, if you have a message. The book is the thing that gets you in the door faster than anything else, faster than 130,000 YouTube subscribers, right? The book is the thing, even a self-published book, right? And also, like a book will just books reach people that YouTube videos just won't. Somebody is on Amazon right now looking for a book for some sort of self-help or personal development book. Who would never go to YouTube for that? Most people do search for this kind of thing on YouTube, but not everybody. So I wanted it to reach other Black women as well, who just weren't going to find me through YouTube. I had a couple of questions from you guys on marketing. I think most of them are the same question. Words Move Poetry asked, how do readers find, Words Move Poetry has started a book club. Excuse me. Has started a book club, and she asks, how do readers find my Facebook group? Letitia Wilson says, how do you get followers from LinkedIn over to YouTube? Yes. And so how do you move people from one platform to another, or how do you tell people about your thing? First, on the platform that you're on a platform where people have raised their hand and said they want to hear from you, you talk to people, right? Social networks are an amazing advantage. So utilize it. Take advantage of an advantage. When you have anybody who said, I want to hear more from you, which is an Instagram follower, which is a Facebook friend, which is a LinkedIn connection, which is a YouTube subscriber, who am I missing, right? Those are people who have raised their hand and said they want to hear from you. So you tell them about your thing on that platform, on those platforms, plural. You tell them about it. I think most of the hurdle is telling people that your thing exists, and also not overthinking or overthinking how many times you tell them about it, right? No matter how many times I've announced on Facebook that I have a YouTube channel, I know that I have Facebook friends who don't know that I have a YouTube channel, right? You can't over talk about your stuff. You can't talk about it too much. There's no such thing as too much, right? Everybody's busy. Everybody's doing a bunch of stuff. Ain't nobody see all of your posts. Nobody sees all of your videos. Nobody reads all of your emails. So we talk about our things a lot on on the platforms where people have raised their hands and said this thing exists. Now, more specifically, how do you move people from LinkedIn over to YouTube? First question is, do you need to? Right? So LinkedIn is a platform where you can serve people, right? Give them your info and move them to your business directly. You don't have to funnel them through YouTube first. I don't think most people, right? So on LinkedIn, you can tell people about what you do, share your testimonials, the same kind of things that you would put on YouTube. You can put that directly on LinkedIn. You don't necessarily need to move people over to YouTube, right? Move them from LinkedIn to your business. Move them from LinkedIn to your lead magnet, to your coaching program, to your retreat, to your thing. Okay. But, we all want subscribers on YouTube. So the way to do that is just to show them parts of your YouTube video, right? Put a good not a trailer. Forget I even started that word. A good snippet of a good video. Take a good video and get a good snippet of that video, put it on LinkedIn and tell them the rest is over on YouTube, right? And do that often. Do that anytime you put out a video that's really good, that you know that the people on LinkedIn would be really glad to watch. Put a piece of it over on LinkedIn. This is something I don't do, and I would recommend it. I think LinkedIn is a wonderful platform. It's one of the last networks out there, but it's something that I would do if I had a little more time. But or just it's something that I would do. So to move people from one platform to another, you need to have as much as take a piece of your bigger content, put it on the platform and say, this is where you go to get the rest. How do you find, Words Move Poetry was how do you find readers for your Facebook group? Or how do you find people to join her book club, which is a Facebook group? Same, tell everyone everywhere, all of the time about your book club. Sometimes you're just going to flat out say, this is my book club, this is what we're reading. Sometimes you're going to share some testimonials and somebody saying this book club is amazing and, the women here are wonderful and it's been a wonderful place for me. But you're going to share it with people all of the time. It helps when your thing has the keyword in the name. So it helps if your book club is called book club for whatever, for whomever, right? This type of books for these type of women or for these type of people. It helps if your thing is titled that way. Of course, my YouTube channel is called Stephanie Perry, but it would help if my channel was like sabbaticals and house sitting and sabbaticals for Black women or something, right? If you can put the keywords in the title, that's helpful. But marketing really is. So yes, anywhere people have raised their hand and said, I want to know about this thing, sharing that over and over again there. But marketing really is getting on other people's platforms and talking your talk. Most people have a talk or a couple of talks that they give in their space, and they go all over the internet and they talk that talk. I go all over the internet and I give the same house sitting talk. And then I invite people to join me on my YouTube channel, or I invite them to use my lead magnet to get started, to get onto my email list. Marketing really is going out all over the world, all over the internet, or world, internet is the world, all over the internet and talking your talk. Tell people why this thing is important, who it's for, what it can do for them. And get on their podcasts, get on their YouTube channels. A lot of you guys, every now and then somebody will be like, oh, Yolanda's been coaching me because Yolanda was interviewed on my YouTube channel. Or I'm going to Kathy's retreat because Kathy was interviewed on my YouTube channel. Getting out onto someone else's platform is marketing. It's marketing. And if you need followers on your YouTube channel, if you need people in your book club, if you need people in your retreats, if you need people to buy your albums, if you need people to buy your books, right? You go out on the internet and you talk your talk in your place and other people's places. So yes, you do it on your own YouTube channel. I think we should, all of us, I think we should have a YouTube channel. It's so democratic. Is that the right word? It's such a level playing field. Um, I think we should all have a YouTube channel. But if you don't have a YouTube channel, it's okay because other people do, right? Other people do. So when I could come out here sometime next year and I say, here's how I sold 10,000 copies of my book. My goal is to sell 10,000 copies next year. When I make a video that says, here's how I sold 10,000 copies of my book, somebody will say, ugh, of course, she's got over 100,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. But like, I don't have the only YouTube channel on YouTube, right? If you need to get in front of 100,000 people who would be interested in your thing, you could do it, right? It may mean 5 interviews on people who have 20,000 subscribers. It may mean, let me do some math, it may mean 100 interviews on people who have 1,000 subscribers channels, right? If they're relevant. The more relevant, of course, the better, right? It may mean 1,000 interviews on people who have 100 subscribers, right? But marketing is going out and talking your talk, knowing who your talk is for. So are there other people who could benefit from my book? Sure. I actually put Black women in the subtitle of my book. It's called Job Detox, a workbook for Black women to stop striving and get free. But even if that wasn't there, right? My book is written for Black women. But you know what I could do? I could still go out and talk my talk on other people's channels, and other people could buy the book. Marketing really is knowing who your book is for and who else it's for. So I'm in an independent book publisher course through the Independent Book Publishers Association. They have classes that are reasonably priced. So I'm in the IBPA's course right now on book publishing, like marketing for independent book publishers. And that's all he's teaching. I'm like, oh, I've been doing this on YouTube, right? That's all he's teaching. Who do you need to talk to and what do you need to talk about, right? So yes, I can get on if there's a career coach and she wants to come in and have me come in and talk about career breaks. Yes, I can talk about that. But you know who else needs to read this book? Like everybody. Sororities, right? Everybody. So not everybody. I don't mean everybody. I just mean there are different approaches to the same subject. So to market your Facebook group or to market your YouTube channel, you find the approaches. What are the doors into my world? What are the doors into house sitting? Travel, especially budget travel. People who have podcasts and YouTube channels that talk travel and budget travel, they love me. So do the personal finance people. They love house sitting, right? So I get on personal finance podcasts and YouTube channels and blogs, right? So you need to know the inroads to your thing. Yeah, right? So don't overthink how much you talk about your thing. Yeah. Get over yourself is my main advice on this subject. Like, seriously, get over yourself. Ain't nobody paying attention to you like that. So you'd be like, oh, I can't talk about this on my Facebook. I just talked about it last week. Like, get over yourself. Nobody is counting and tracking how often you mention your YouTube channel, okay? Nobody is on Facebook every time you're on Facebook. Hardly ever. I do have a cousin who, no matter when I post things, she seems to be on on Facebook and Instagram. But most people, when you post stuff, they don't see it, okay? They don't see it. Most of your subscribers and followers don't see what you do on the internet. So you got to tell them over and over and over again. So like, seriously, get over yourself and repeat. They raised their hand to say they want to hear from you. Let them hear from you. Sewing, growing. I never thought that writing a book could help bring me more subscribers here on YouTube. Yeah, so these are all roads that we take, right? They're all roads. If you have something to say, seriously, if you have something to say, I think you should have a YouTube channel. I think you should also write some sort of book. It doesn't have to be a big book. It could be a small book, right? It's another thing. When people are I got really excited. When people are looking for answers, where do they go in your world? In the gardening world, when people are looking for answers, they actually go to books, right? In the Right, wherever. In your world, do people go to books for answers? In the personal development space and in the right burnout space, people do go to books. In the travel space, books are more about, travel books generally are more about memoir than how to, but maybe that means that somebody like me should write a travel memoir, just a little book about her sabbatical, you know? Wherever people go for answers in your world, you should have some stuff there. Everybody is YouTube. Everybody is YouTube. Everybody goes to YouTube for answers on their thing, whether it is how to use this particular dishwasher or, you know, how to do my hair for vacation or whatever. Everybody is YouTube. But if books are another place, it should be books. We should be writing books. Those speakers that I worked for, they got paid speaking because they had books, not because they had a great message. Seriously, some of them weren't really super clear on there. Like, I thought you talked about this. Now you're over here talking about that, right? But they had a book. They have a book. It really is the key. It really is the thing that gets them in the door. They can be like, I have a book, right? Get them speaking. I worked for a speaker who spoke in schools who have a budget to bring people in, right? And it was because he had books. Yes. Okay. So I think so. If you have a message, if you have something to say, I think you should have a YouTube channel. And now I think you should have a book. Yeah. And you're going to market them the same way, right? You're going to go out and talk your talk all over the internet. How do I find collaborators? Hi, Portia. So I was asked this question also by Bronwyn Bernardo. How do you find people to collaborate with and interview? This is another portion of the previous question about how do I market my thing, right? You market your thing by collaborating with people on their platforms and on your platforms, right? You be a guest on their channel and you bring guests over onto your channel. So how do you find people? Spend some time just being nosy on the internet. We should all be really into our ideal audience's interests, right? I know my work is for Black women, primarily Gen X and younger baby boomers. So I'm all up in y'all's business, right? I know what Gen X and baby boomer women are into, and I follow those people. I know who y'all are sharing on the internet. I know whose posts y'all send to each other in your text chats and stuff, because I'm all up in your business. So we just need to be clear on who we talk to. You can't be successful if you're not clear on who you talk to, and a narrow category, right? Not just, my category is not just Gen X and baby boomer women, but it's Gen X and baby boomer women who have tried Black excellence and are ready to put it down, right? It's a very specific group of women, and I'm not talking to all. My message is not for all anything, not for all women, and not even for all Black women, because there are Black women here who will come to my live streams on my other channel and be like, just work harder, and right? My message is not for all. But the women who it's for, I know what y'all are into. I know, because first of all, I'm you. I happen to belong to the same group, but even if I didn't, I would just be so nosy. I would just be so nosy on the internet. What are y'all watching? What are y'all talking about? What are y'all sharing? Who? Who are you looking towards for messages? Who are y'all like not really care too much for? And then the people that y'all are into, I'm going to collaborate with them. I'm going to meet them. I'm going to meet them on the internet, right? Which is really easy today. You just holler at some people. Some people actually read their DMs. I don't read my DMs, okay? But some people actually read their DMs. You just DM them, hey, I really appreciate the work that you're doing. You want to get some coffee have a virtual coffee date? That works. People do that to me. I really love this message. I'm a creator who does this, or I'm a coach who does that. I'd love to chat with you. I'll do it, right? you find a way to mingle with people. In-person events are wonderful, but COVID, it's been a while since we've been able to do in-person events. People that you meet in person are much more likely to like go hard for you. People that you've met in person are much more likely to like become your evangelists out in the world. Uh, but it's harder to get to events like that now. But I'm going to Rachel Rogers' ROI conference in Puerto Rico next month, because I hope to meet some new people and we will evangelize for each other, right? So how do you find collaborators? DM them, right? DM them, email them, pitch them. Knowing how to pitch is a life skill that will take you far, right? Knowing how to pitch yourself, knowing how to introduce yourself and your work to people is a life skill that'll take you far. So practice the pitch. In Exodus Summit 2022, Danielle, no, yes, Danielle P. did a wonderful session on pitching. It's called freelance something. It's called something about freelancing, but it was basically a session on pitching, how to pitch yourself. It was how to pitch yourself to freelance writers and stuff. Pontajour? I don't think that's who it was. No, it'll come to me. But yeah, okay, so learning how to pitch yourself to people. Sometimes it needs to be a formal pitch if you don't have any relationship with them, but sometimes it's just people you know, right? I got on Adelia's podcast by saying, hey, how come you never invited me to be on your podcast, right? Seriously, that's how I was a guest on Adelia's podcast. Because I knew her from the internet. I knew her on the internet. We hadn't met in person yet, but I knew her on the internet. And I was like, hi, I'm available on these dates, right? Some of my guests on my YouTube channel have done that. Hey, I'm available. You said Saturday, you don't know what you're going to talk about next week. I want to come and talk about this. Okay, right? Other people have to be more formal because I don't know you, right? I don't know you. I've never seen you in my chat, right? I've never heard you talking out on the internet about your stuff. Another important point to finding collaborators, nobody's going to want to collaborate with you if you've not been out spreading your word on the internet. If you don't have a YouTube channel or a LinkedIn or something where people can go and see you in action, uphill battle. Impossible dream. It's the impossible dream because people pitch me all the time and I go, just let me find your YouTube channel and see what you're talking about. No YouTube channel. Okay, well, let me find you as a guest on somebody else's YouTube channel and see what you're talking about. No guest interviews. Okay, let me go over to your LinkedIn and see what you're talking about. No videos on LinkedIn. Like, help me help you. How do you find collaborators? Put something on the internet that people can say, I want to collaborate with her, right? Create something that makes you collaboration worthy. I don't mean it gets a million views. I just mean I love her message, okay? And then pitch yourself. No, I did this out of order. Put something on the internet that makes you collaboration worthy, okay? And then stalk your ideal clients and viewers. Know who they're into, right? We found people for the summit just because some of y'all were out here sharing. We wanted to talk about trading and y'all were talking about Jolene GC, right? Who are your people raving about? Who are they all in on? Just today on Twitter, someone asked a regular question, what did you do for yourself this year that really changed things for you? And a woman said she got a life coach, but she didn't just say she got a life coach. She put the link, she tagged the life coach in the post. So I spent about 30 minutes watching that life coach's stuff and seeing if I was interested. It's a man, he's a man, and I don't know that I want to interview men on my channel. I've only interviewed, I think, 3 men on my channel in general. But anyway, I spent 30 minutes. And if I were a person who was in the market for a life coach, her testimonial plus him having stuff on the internet would be enough for me to at least give him a try. But we're talking about collaboration. But as far as me collaborating with him, that's what did it. That's what would have made me say yes. If he were a woman, I probably would have invited him on for my channel for Saturday, right? She gave the solid testimonial, and he had enough content on the internet for me to be like, I agree with his message, right? And I like his delivery. And then I would have reached out. Okay, I'm going all over the barn, Portia, but I feel like I answered your question. I hope I answered your question. Okay? Yes. Okay. Yes. We're still doing it. But what's in your glass, Katrina? Katrina is the queen of Prosecco. I buy Prosecco now because of Katrina. Marketing is getting out in the world and talking about your, yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. And right, once you do it enough, it becomes super automatic and it's really, my mom, she'll be like, did you listen to Steffi's podcast? Steffi was on such and such podcast. Did you listen to it? They'd be like, my dad said, she always says the same thing. I'm like, yes, sir. That's my message. I don't need to have a whole bunch of talks. I need a house sitting talk and I need a YouTube talk. I really do need I have a talk that's more about YouTube marketing than about house sitting, or that is about YouTube marketing. And then I have the house sitting talk. That's all, right? I get on people's podcasts. I be saying the same stuff I say all the time. They be like, oh, yes, this is life changing, right? I don't need to come up with new stuff. You don't need to come up with new stuff. You market your thing by getting clear about your message and who your message is for, and you find those people. You go talk to them. Somebody's got an audience of your ideal people already. Somebody already has them gathered together, and they already have questions. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, right? This is how it's done. It's not, you really don't have to start from zero. Start from, the next level because somebody's already introduced you to their people. Teresa says, I met and follow so many people from the trifecta, Stephanie, Rashida, Adelia. Yeah, right? You really don't have to start from zero if, okay, again, everyone who's been a guest on my channel has been talking their talk on the internet on their own, right? Has a clear message that I understand and who I feel safe entrusting my audience with. Right? That's the real problem. You get somebody who you don't know what she's talking about, and she gonna come on my YouTube channel talking about, here's how you submit to a man. Right? Y'all's problem is, right? If you're fat, you don't deserve happiness, right? So I'm getting on my channel talking some mess, right? I don't do that. Everyone who has been a guest on my channel has been a guest on my channel because she has put some good stuff out on the internet. And I have been like, yes, I trust you. I trust you. And I want to learn some more from you, right? That's marketing, right? YouTube marketing. It's called YouTube marketing. A content marketing, if you want, right? YouTube marketing is called content marketing. We go out and talk our talk on the internet and to relevant audiences, and we invite them to our thing. That's a missing piece. You have to have a very strong call to action. Your call to action is going to vary based on who you're talking to and where. Sometimes your call to action is just going to be, come over and subscribe to my channel. Sometimes it's going to be download my free toolkit, and you get them on the email list, and then you email them about your stuff. Sometimes your call to action is going to be buy my book. It's going to be direct, buy my book, right? But you go, you market, and then you sell. There's a point when you switch from marketing to sales, right? These are two different things. Marketing, I'm aware of your message. Sales, I have bought your book, right? So we switch from marketing to selling. That's the path to sitting in Costa Rica drinking champagne in the middle of the day because you don't have to have a job, right? That's it. That's it. I'm not anything, I've not reinvented any wheel out here on the internet. I have not reinvented any wheel. I've created things, I've marketed things, I have sold things. That's it. That's all we do. And that's what I teach. That's all I teach. Anita says, what about Pinterest? Pinterest is a blog post search engine. Pinterest, if your topic is very blog centric, remember, we talked about how to know where are people searching for help in your particular space, right? So for me, so let's talk about two different things. So YouTube and stuff. There's something flying around in front of the camera. YouTube stuff, to me, I don't think Pinterest would be a big help to me because people want YouTube help. They go to YouTube, right? How do I grow my YouTube subscribers? That's something you look for on YouTube. It's not something you're looking for in a blog post. Now, how do I travel with my family on a budget? House sitting and sabbatical stuff. That's very blog post friendly. And if I were a person who wanted to spend more time working, I would write blog posts and then create Pinterest pins and be more active on Pinterest, because Pinterest is a place where people search for blog posts and search for help with things. So you need to know what your audience, what questions are they asking and where are they asking those questions. It's probably the same places you were asking for help a little while ago. But Pinterest is a legitimate place to market your work if your work is written form. They're doing more video stuff. So actually, I'm behind the times on Pinterest. I have a couple of blog posts that have done really well on Pinterest. My 50 cities where you can Airbnb for $500 a month. That was one of my first blog posts, and it's a blog post that did really well on Pinterest. And then these books will make you quit your job. I have a blog post on 10 books that will make you quit your job. I need to update that with my own book. That is another thing that has done decently for me on Pinterest without me giving it a whole lot of attention. So if your thing is something that people want to read blog posts about, I think you should learn some Pinterest. Learn how to use it, because this is where people are searching for blog posts. Just like YouTube is where people go to search for videos, right? Pinterest is where people go to search for blog posts. If you're in the recipe space, one of us is making a cookbook. Y'all remember from the morning crew, which one of our coworkers is making a cookbook, right? If you're in the food space, Pinterest. Yes. Yes. Yeah. All right. Yes, right? If you know who your people are, you have solved so many problems in the marketing world. So many people are out trying to sell their coaching, their retreats, their books, market their YouTube channels, but they don't know who they're for. You need to know who you're for. You need to know who do you want to work with? Even if you just pick someone, even if your business is broad, let's say you're a bookkeeper. Even if you could do bookkeeping for everyone, who do you want to work with, right? There's a difference between bookkeeping for a trucking company and an online business person and a, like, I don't know, a humongous conglomerate, right? And the girl who does nails from her house, right? Who do you want to work with? Once you narrow that down, you know where they're asking for help. You should, right? Once you know where they're asking for help, you know where to put your stuff. So the girl who does nails from her house is looking to YouTube for bookkeeping help, right? The big shipping conglomerate, probably not. So once you know that who you're for and where they're looking for help, you've solved so many problems. You've solved a lot of problems. Okay? Yeah, okay. We're writing our books together, Teresa. We're doing it. I would really love in 2023 to also publish I'm looking at the champagne bottle like, I don't think I drank enough to be, this is not something I would normally say out loud. Even though I'm a person who says everything out loud, this is one thing I would not normally say, but I'm gonna say it. In 2023, I would love to publish, because you're gonna find out in just a second why I wouldn't normally announce this. But my barriers are down. I would love to publish what is it called? When you have multiple people write the book on people's sabbaticals. I would love to publish some people's stories of their sabbaticals in one book, which is called y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know, I haven't had all that much champagne. I don't really know, but I'm gonna still pour a little bit more in my glass. Yes, right? And I would normally not announce this out loud, because don't email me. Okay, I'm not ready. Don't email me. I'm not talking about this week or this month or this 6-month period. But by this time, anthology, thank you. By this time next year, I would love to have in the works an anthology. Thank you, friends. I knew if I just waited. Y'all are with me. I would love to publish an anthology of Black women's sabbaticals, stories from their sabbaticals. This time next year. I don't know how I got here, though. What was I talking about? Okay, I don't really remember. But yes, right. So that's a thing that I want to work on next year. I wish I could remember what I was talking about. I'm pretty sure it had something to do with that. Uh, but yeah, okay. So I would love to do that, and that's a thing that I would love to do. Thank you. I told y'all get here early because by this time, at this point, we've lost all the chances of my answers to your questions from this point on being concise, zero. Being accurate, I think we're still about 80% accuracy, but I've lost some concise brain computation abilities. Thanks to your YouTube Success Challenge, I have a YouTube channel doing sewing, upcycling, and styling tutorials and hit 500 subscribers. Congratulations! I love it when you guys report back. Oh, that's wonderful. One of the things I need to do in 2023, Clarice and I need to do, is do a better job of keeping track of our challenge students because we haven't been. We started off with too many. Our first challenge had 300 students, so we couldn't keep track of what everyone was doing. But hopefully, not hopefully, that's part of our 2023 plan. Do a better job of knowing how you guys are doing, keeping track of you. That's wonderful. Congratulations. Right? So you talk about sewing, upcycling, styling tutorials. This is one audience, right? There's one audience who's into that thing. You make content for them, and then when you're ready, you bring in guests and you go out and talk on other people's channel about this thing. Okay. Yes, right? Networking in 2022, 2023 is so much easier, right? Like you don't even have to put pants on. You don't even need pants to be out here networking on the internet with people. I've done probably 4 or 5 this year. I would never initiate, right? So I'm not the kind of person who would initiate a virtual coffee chat. But I've had probably 4 or 5 different women reach out to me. And I'm like, yes, of course. I'm going to drink coffee anyway. And I love to talk. So yes, let's do it. Teresa says, that's me, no social footprint. Those who have worked with me continuously invite me regularly. Yes. Okay. So what Stephanie's saying what I know to do. She has lit a fire in me, a fire and desire, time to execute. Yeah, I hope you do. It doesn't have to be, you don't need a whole lot. You don't need a whole lot. You need a couple of good videos that you are proud for strangers to see, right? Whether it's a stranger who wants to have you come and talk on our podcast or a stranger who wants to book you to speak to her 2,000 person conference. You need something somewhere for people to see what you do, right? Imagine someone booking me and not knowing what I say, and then I get up on stage and say, white people in America are the worst people, right? People need to vet you. They need to know what you're talking about. So have a place where people can go and easily find that. Create that. It doesn't have to be a full-blown YouTube channel. By full-blown, I mean like 100 videos. It can be 4 or 5 videos. Let me see. 4 or 5 videos is fine. 4 or 5 videos where you cover a few different things in your space. I think that's fine. For if your dream is not to have a YouTube channel and make money from your YouTube channel, just to have a place where people can vet you, that's all it takes, right? That's all it takes. Hiding your light under a bushel just sets the house on fire. It doesn't give you any progress, right? Yeah, just create a place where people can find your work and know what you're talking about. Yeah, right? Okay. Dallas Dan said, no wonder I'm not getting traffic to my website. What do you think the problem is? I don't know what I was talking about when you typed that because I'm really behind in the chat. But what do you think the problem is? That you're not out sharing it in the world? You got to share it. You got to share it. And you need to know where people are searching for your thing. I think that's what we were talking about. Yeah. Know where people are searching for your particular thing. If you're talking about, let me think of something that nobody would go to YouTube for. I can't think of anything. I've tried before. I've tried before. I can't think of anything people wouldn't come to YouTube for. I can't think of it. But some things don't, like I said, like YouTube coaching doesn't seem to fit with the blog post idea, right? So me writing blog posts about YouTube stuff, probably not super helpful. Okay. Yeah, I would. Okay. Yeah. I think that some people need to hear. I think an anthology is a good idea for my publishing company. I think that there are women who need to hear from other women. Just like when Rashida and I did the 12, Rashida and I had been making videos about our career breaks. We'd been making videos about our career breaks. And then we got together and we interviewed 12 other women about their career breaks, and our channels took off. So part of that is collaboration, right? Just the power of collaboration, exponential growth. But another part of it is just social proof. Somebody else saying, yeah, I did it too. You know, it's one thing to hear one person or two people say a thing. But once you hear a whole bunch of women from a whole bunch of backgrounds with a whole bunch of different budgets and experiences, and right, once you hear a whole bunch of people doing it, you're like, oh, I can do it too. Okay. Karaya, I've always wondered if this life of freedom is available to my generation. We're definitely in the height of Black excellence being the thing. I think it's coming to an end. I think it's coming to an end. 2020 opened a lot of people's eyes. I think it's coming to an end. I'm not saying that my message is new or that is something people aren't thinking about. I think it's just something people have to give themselves permission for, right? My idea of decentering work, of work not being the sun in your solar system, I didn't invent that, right? But there are women now who are saying, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, I think travel memoir, Crystal, I was thinking a travel memoir would be fun to write as a genre, especially if you're traveling anyway. Absolutely, and people love them. So there are genres of books that have readers and people who read that genre heavily, right? And that's, I think travel memoir is a genre where there are readers who are underserved, right? There are not a whole lot of travel. When you go to Amazon, there aren't a whole lot, right? Compared to like people who like a specific genre of romance, like I can't think of a romance genre right now, but like what is it called? Clean. There's clean romance, and there's harem romance, reverse harem, I think it's called, right? Those there are lots of books in those genres. In the travel memoir space, there's not a whole lot of content out there for people, for the readers. I think they're underserved. Do it. A divine artist. You make me want to put some sparkling wine in my smoothie, but I have a meeting in an hour. Okay. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Hang on, guys. Right? So, our friend Sewing Growing comes and shares out on the internet that she has a channel about sewing, and women are like, "Oh, I'm into that. That's the thing I want to hear about." The internet has changed things. Some of us are still marketing our businesses like it's the 80s. But the internet has changed things. You talk to people and make connections. Commissioner Tia, anthology on Ms. Perry, we do not convince others about the life of ease. So, I don't mean to say I do. Yeah, no, I don't convince people. I'm not that person. There are people whose message is a message of convincing. Is there another way to say that? Listen, I am for the people who are ready. I don't. My job is not to get you ready, but if you're ready and you're like, okay, how do I do this? Hello. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Yeah, I'm not a convincer, right? The only reason I reply, so people leave comments on my channel that are saying she is not ready for this talk, right? This person is not ready for this particular conversation, and maybe never will be. Ready is not necessarily the right word, but it's the best I have, right? Maybe never will be. But the only reason I reply to those people is so that other people who read those comments don't get sucked back in. There's somebody who's like on the precipice. There's somebody who's like on the ledge, and that other woman's comment can pull them back in. So I do reply to those comments sometimes just for the other future comment readers who might see the comment, but I don't do it in order to convince anyone. Usually my comment will be, like people will say, we can't all leave the United States. We work so hard for what we have here. And I'll be like, okay, well, you can keep it. My comment is not usually like to convince her that she should leave the US. My comment is like, I hope it works out for you, sis. Right? I hope whatever you think you're about to get, I hope you get it. I hope you get it all, right? Yeah, I'm not in the convincing space. I am in the here's information, here's how you do it. See? Yeah, it's the internet. 2022, almost 2023. Do things this way. Thank you. F Doctor, who is the book for? Thank you very much for the congratulations. I see that. Thank you. Who is the book for and what do I hope to accomplish? My book is for Black women who are ready to put Black excellence in its place, leave it behind, and move into a life where they live their own dreams, where they center their own dreams, even if she doesn't yet know what that dream is. I hope that my book reaches people who my YouTube channel has not yet reached. I hope that my book opens up some speaking doors for me. And I hope that my book gets in the hands of women I hope that my book goes through, I want white men to pay me for this work. And the best way I know for white men to pay me for this is for them to buy the book in bulk to give it to Black women. So I hope that the book works as a reparations, as a form of reparations for me and us, right? So I hope, like I told you, that I want to speak at like school districts, talk to teachers in school districts. I hope that the book helps navigate that, right? They buy the book in bulk. I go in, talk to the teachers about how to set up a sabbatical for the summer. Or Ford Motor Company, I believe, who sponsors Essence Festival all the time, right? Ford Motor Company buys the book in bulk to give away in goodie bags at Essence Festival. I hope the book acts as a reparations conduit. I mean that. I'm laughing, but I'm so serious. So that's what I want for the book. I want for the book to reach Black women my channel wouldn't reach. I want for my book to open up speaking avenues for me. And I want the book to be a reparations pathway. That's what I want for it. And I want to sell 10,000 copies. I have a more concrete figure. The concrete figure is 10,000 copies. I would love to sell 10,000 copies in 2023 of this book. That is the concrete number. Okay. All right. This is funny. I don't know. I want to ban the troll, but it's also really funny. I guess I'll ban him. His message to Tom Brady. Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah. All right. I'm losing track. So I had a half of a, it's when I didn't eat any breakfast by mistake. Accident, Liz, accident. I didn't eat breakfast. And then when I went to the grocery store just before I went live, I bought a wrap, a chicken Chipotle wrap, chicken wrap from the grocery store, and I ate half of that. So I have eaten something, but not all of it. Is this self-published? Have you hired an editor? Would you consider doing Audible? Yes, self-published. Yes, I have an editor, but I think I'm going to get a second editor. I don't want to talk about that on the internet. And would I consider doing Audible? Yes, I plan to do the audiobook as well. It's going to be hard because I need to take sips of water in between like every sentence. I don't know how long that's going to take. But yeah, I do plan to record the audiobook. I've actually even found a place here in San Jose, Costa Rica, where I can just record the audiobook here. I found it like a sound place, studio, an engineer, like a studio, so I can record the audiobook. Part of me wants to pay somebody to record it, but I don't think that's the right thing. I think the right thing is for me to do it. I read, I re-listened to Marie Kondo's Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, and I knew it wasn't her voice. And I don't know, I kept thinking about that. I don't know. I kept thinking about, I know this is not Marie Kondo. Yes. Oh, do we have an update? We're over. Okay, so the original concept was that we would put $25,000 together, give it to artist Maisha Francis so that she can go on sabbatical. We're over $20,000, and we will hit $25,000. We will hit $25,000 very soon. The update is that I just need to, I guess this is private, but I just need to ask her if she wants it in one lump sum or broken up over the 2 years, over 2022 and 2023. But we're almost there. The Patreon really kicked into gear. The Patreon community is bringing in almost either just over 1,000 or almost $1,000 every month. So that tells me that we can do this again next year. And hopefully we'll be able to double, to send 2 women on sabbatical. The update is that we're super close and that I just need to ask her how she wants the money and then get her the money. And then we'll talk to her about just her. We'll interview her sometime soon. The Patreon community was the biggest money contributor. The challenge did a good job. The challenge, the December Declutter Challenge, got us off to a really strong start. The merch, I think I could have done a better job with the merch. We could have made more money from merch. On one hand, that was a missed opportunity. On the other hand, like, y'all don't need no more t-shirts. So, so it's okay that the money didn't come from merch. But that was a big missed opportunity. I think, because my last merch payout was like $12 for the month. 12, that means probably 3 coffee mugs, right? Or something like that. Or like 1 t-shirt and some stickers or something. Or 1, yeah. So the update is that we're very close, and it's time for me to figure out how she wants the money. And we're going to keep doing it. Do it again. If you don't know, my Patreon money all goes to the Vicarian Sabbatical Fund. And last year we chose a woman to give the money to so that she can go on sabbatical. This time, I think we'll probably just wait until we have the money to pick a person. I think making her wait a full year was probably not the best decision I've ever made. I didn't expect it to take a year. I thought maybe 3 or 4 months. So making her wait a year after announcing we were going to give her the money, I regret that. So next time, we'll just rack up some dough. I guess. I don't know. On one hand, it would be nice to wait. On the other hand, it's harder to raise money, I think, if we don't know who we're raising it for. So I don't know. I've already undecided. Jessica, in that 10 seconds, I've decided and undecided how to do things. So we'll see. Yeah. All right. Crystal's saying in the travel memoir space, you don't see Black women, right? There are not Black women. I've read Eat, Pray, Love. I've read the one Cheryl Strayed's book with the boots on the front where she walked the long walk. I've read travel memoirs. I've not read a Black woman's travel memoir. Maybe I have. I bought Black American Refugee, Tiffany Drayton, but I don't think it's a memoir. I haven't read it yet. It's on my coming soon list, right? But I don't think it's a memoir as much as like a manifesto. I don't think. Tiffany Drayton I'm pretty sure it's called Black American Refugee. But that's coming soon. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So the questions, where are we on my list of questions? Some simple YouTube questions. I'm going to answer some simple YouTube questions. YouTube Shorts, Deonda, we talked about this earlier on the other channel when you asked the question, but Deonda, the sweetest spot with Deonda, should you use YouTube Shorts to gain an audience? Anybody you get from YouTube Shorts, any audience you gain from YouTube Shorts will keep watching your shorts, but I'm not convinced that they're going to watch any of your other content. So YouTube Shorts, if you grow an audience with them, know that they're probably going to stay on that side of the wall. Okay, they're probably not going to cross over and watch your 20-minute, 90-minute videos. I'm not opposed to shorts. Just know that it's not a way to grow this audience. Shorts grows the shorts audience. Treat them like they're 2 different things. You can pretend they're 2 different channels, even though it's the same channel. Sacred at Play, how do you find good YouTube video ideas? Stalk your ideal viewers in a loving, gentle, non-scary, non-creepy way. Know what they're into. What questions are they asking? Right? I have a masterclass called Get Found on YouTube, which walks you through the process of finding out who are they watching and who they're listening to, and then what videos of those channels are doing well. That's one type of video you should make, right? You should make videos that your ideal viewer is already watching, and you find that out by knowing who they're subscribed to, and then what videos on those channels are doing really well. My Get Found on YouTube masterclass is at vicarious.com/getfound. But to know what kind of videos you make, you're making basically just a handful of kinds of videos. You're making So if you wanted some good video ideas, make the videos that your viewers already watching on someone else's channel in your way. Okay, I'm not talking about stealing content, but I'm talking about what is she already into, and can I contribute to this conversation? View it as a conversation, and what can I contribute to it? And then you need to make the videos that she's Googling or asking for help with or searching for help with, right? Questions that she's putting into the internet. How do I travel with no money? I have Googled those exact words. YouTube pointed me to house sitting. And then you can alternate, right? Alternate between a video for the algorithm, which is what they're already watching, a video for your existing subscribers, which is what is she Googling, and then a video for you, one video that you just want to make. It can be a rant. I'm not opposed to ranting on YouTube. I've done lots of rants on YouTube. And then when I do an in-person meetup and I get to meet y'all in person, the words that you say back to me are words from those rant videos, right? The videos where I sit and I prepare, I do the outline, I do some research, and I let me find out about Mauritius's policy for, what are they called? Tourist visas and digital nomad visas, right? I do all the research and I do all that work. I make the video. Video does fine. But then I sit down and I'm like, this is making me mad. Let me tell y'all. Let me rant in the camera for 15 minutes. Those are the videos that really touch people, that really connect people. I'm not opposed to ranting on YouTube. Some people don't grow because they don't seem to have anything to say. They're so caught up in the first couple kinds of videos, they forget to say what they came to YouTube to say. They forget what their message is. Waiting till your retirement age to live is a scam. It's okay to say that, right? Or whatever your thing is, right? The sewing community may have some controversy. It's okay to address it, right? It's not cheating if you do whatever. I don't know what a sewing controversy would be. But it's okay to rant, okay? Video content ideas. What are they already watching on other channels? What are they Googling or asking you for help with or putting in your comments? What are they asking? What are they specifically saying? I need this. And then what do you want to rant about? Those are good video ideas. Those are the probably last 10 or 20 videos I've made on both of my channels. This co-work with me, I think, is another underutilized type of video. If you do something like sewing, sew live on YouTube. If you're a writer, write live on YouTube. Write with me. If your channel is about play and free time, play live on YouTube. Right? As long as your thing doesn't involve music, other people's copywritten music, or, as long as your thing is something that you can legally do without getting in trouble on YouTube, do it live on YouTube. If you're booking plane tickets, if you can try to keep your screen, maybe plane ticket thing, you may not want to do that live because people may accidentally see too much personal info. But your thing, doing it live on YouTube is another type of content. So I listed out 3, I'm adding this. Whatever the thing is that you do it live, right? So maybe I should have been doing here's my house sitting life. Now I do lots of lives on my channel and you see my house sitting life. You see the dog. I just rewatched the video the other day where the dogs were just running all over me, right? I was in Nashville and the 2 big dogs, Kona and the other one. Kona and whatever. They just kept crossing over my lap and right. So that is basically house sitting live on YouTube, right? So I'm going to add that 4th one. Do your thing. Alicia Renice is wonderful at this. She makes music live on YouTube. Yes. So how to find good ideas. Those are my 4 ideas for good ideas. My 4 categories for good ideas. How long should a YouTube video be? As long as it needs to be to fulfill the promise that you made in the title. My best performing videos, I think my number 1 performer is 90 minutes. I've got millions of views on a 90-minute video. My second best performer, as far as I remember, is like a 19-minute video. Your video needs to be as long as it needs to be to fulfill what you've promised in the title. Whatever you said you're about to do or teach in the title, that's how long your video needs to be. My video right now, I have a video that's going ham right now. When I talked about my sabbatical, that's a 3-hour video. And most of the time when I make a 2-hour video, the average view duration is less than 30 minutes. When I hit 30 minutes on average view duration, I'm doing something. Like that video was bomb, right? That 3-hour video, the average view duration is 1 hour and 10 minutes. An hour and 10 minutes of, and the average viewer on that video is a stranger, not a subscriber, which is pretty common. Most most people who watch, after you hit a certain point, most people who watch your videos are strangers, not subscribers. The average stranger is watching this video for 1 hour and 10 minutes. Like, make your video as long as it needs to be to fulfill the promise that you've made in the title. If you say in the title you're going to talk to them about something, and then you hurry and make it a 3-minute video, and now they got to Google it or watch another video to get the help, right? If you're teaching, you tell them you're going to teach the Tunisian crochet stitch, right? You're going to teach the Tunisian crochet stitch, and you cut it off after 3 minutes, and now I'm like, oh, now I got to watch another video, right? I'm not going to ever watch another video of yours, right? You're no longer on my list of helpful people. I cross you off the list. So make the video as long as it needs to be to fulfill that promise. There are 3-minute video subjects out there. And then there are 3-hour video subjects out there. And your one channel can do it all. Your one channel can do all of those. I do it. I think my shortest video ever is probably about 7 or 8 minutes. And then I've got multiple videos over 3 hours. I need a virtual book tour. I know. I would love to do an in-person book tour, right? Next summer, rainy season, when it's raining here in May, June, July, August, I would love to be back in the U.S. If you have a book club, I guess it's too early to book me because the book does not exist. Even though I'm celebrating, the book does not exist yet, okay? But if you have a book club and y'all meet in person, or if you have a book club and y'all want to meet in person, holler at me. Tell me when and where. I'll be there. I would love to do I would love to do some in-person book stuff. Small group. I think COVID will still be with us next summer. I would love to bop around. I love to talk. I love to talk to y'all. I would do it. Yeah, I would love to do that. Right? My reparations. Yes, I think this book is a pathway. We figure out what we want in life and we find ways to get it. Oh, she doesn't speak English? Oh, that would explain it. The woman who narrated the book seems to speak English. She seemed to be a native English speaker who also spoke Japanese, if that makes sense. She pronounced the Japanese words. I mean, I think she did it right. I don't speak Japanese, but she sounded to me like a person who was saying the Japanese words with the Japanese flavor. But she also just sounded like a regular white woman. She may have been an Asian American woman. But I kept saying, I know this is not Marie Kondo's voice. She did the Netflix. Didn't she do Netflix? Did she not speak English at all on her channel? I don't know. Now I need to figure out what she sounds like. I just remember saying multiple times, I know this is not Marie Kondo. Whereas I listened to the audiobook on whatchamacallit, and I was like, I know this is her narrating it, and it helped me like her a little more. Erica, I have the right voice and ability to do the recording. Thank you. I need to drink water all the time. And I don't know how it would work. It would probably take me 4 years to narrate that book. I don't know. But I do plan to do it. I'm just going to have to figure it out. Okay, Francine says she's available for the voiceover. Okay. I don't know how it's going to work. Okay, see you later. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Alrighty. Wait until you have the full amount. Yes, wild. Thank you, Angela. Yeah, right. So there are books in that space. There are readers in that space. I don't think there are Black women in that space. Hi, Edith Donaldson. I'd like to do a mini demonstration on how henna, indigo, and cassia can enhance our life. I'd like to do this if we met in Morocco, something to think about. Oh, do you live in Morocco? I'd like to do this if we meet. Oh, if we meet in Morocco. Okay. Okay. How can it enhance us? Do you have something that we could look at today? Serious question. Do you have something that we could look at today to see if this is something we want to learn more about? Yes. Thanks for the A's. Okay, you're welcome. Get found on YouTube Masterclass, 3 kinds of videos, and rants are okay. Yes. I really think that we need a little more ranting in some of my students' channels, right? I think there's a missing piece. There's a missing, like, why is this important to you? Why does this even matter? Right? Imagine watching my career break and house sitting videos and never knowing, like, my thoughts on anything, right? Just knowing how to house sit and knowing how to take a career break, but not knowing why this was important to me, or like my perspective on the world, or what I want for my life, excuse me, or any of that. A lot of YouTubers are doing things that way. There's a lot of fear that you share too much and then people know too much. But I mean, you're worried about something that is coming 4 years down the road, right? I'm 3 years in on my channel. I am nobody's household name, right? I am not a person who needs to worry about getting stalked and doxxed on the internet. But I'm making a good living from the internet, and it's in part because I say what I have to say, right? I have something to say. Some people, I think I have had some students who just didn't have anything to say, right? We just don't know. I don't have anything to say. And that's because you stay busy, right? You stay busy, you stay working, you stay doing for other people, and you don't really have time to think about what you think, right? But if you are a person who has something to say and you're on YouTube, rant. Do some rants sometimes, right? My stop applying for jobs video, right? When I'm like, stop applying for jobs, grow your business. It just happened. I didn't plan that video. I had put out an announcement that I was looking for help in my business, for my coaching business. I was looking for somebody to help me. And every resume I got was from a Black woman who also had some sort of side business. And I'm like, child, grow the business. This is a good business idea. Grow it, market it, market your business, get some sales. You don't need another job. What you don't need is another job. You need income from your business, right? So I sit down and I record this video, stop applying for jobs, grow your business. And every few weeks, somebody will email me and be like, here's what happened. Here's what's changed in my business. Here's what has changed in my business and therefore my life because you told me to go all in. A stranger, just through the channel, right? I said, try it. Apply pressure, right? And try it. See what happens. And stop applying for jobs and dividing your interests, right? Also, I made a video about the income rivers, and women have been contacting me about that one too. But oh yeah, just get good at something and then do things that branch off from that. You don't need income streams that are really separate. Rants. Those are rants. Those are rant videos. Wrapped with a conclusion in the end, right? So I like to rant and then point you to something. Point you to Exodus Summit. Point you to house sitting. Point you to something that's going to be helpful for you. Point you to my YouTube coaching. But it's still a rant, right? Even though at the end I'm giving you a solution, it's still a rant. More ranting. I think we need more ranting on YouTube, right? Ebbs Race. If anyone wants to collaborate, food, business, automating your business, travel, house sitting, please reach out. Yeah, we have, in the Exodus Summit community, we have a good pool of women who do things and who share their things, but we don't yet have a way for you to, I guess we don't really need it. We don't really need a way for you to reach out to each other. Okay, so let me say this. In the Exodus Summit community on Wednesdays, you can share your posts, your content, your blog posts, your podcast, your YouTube videos. And this is where you can find people to collaborate with. And hopefully in the community, you'll have seen something that they've had to say. And you can see if, is this a person I want to do something with? A video, an interview, something. I think the Exodus Summit community is a good place to find future collaborators. Yes, right, Crystal? I would watch somebody sew and probably crochet on YouTube. Do your thing on YouTube, right? This is a platform that just, is democratizer the right word? It takes out you don't need a middleman. You don't need anybody, a gatekeeper. You don't need anybody to give you permission. You do your thing on YouTube. Market it. You do need to let people know about it in various ways. And get started. Sometimes people still are like, I want to do this, I want to do that, but they don't have a YouTube channel where they're already doing it. Like I have a girlfriend who years ago wanted to sing. She's a great singer and she wanted to sing, but she had no YouTube. Like, just sing on YouTube, right? Start there. This is the beginning. She was operating like it was 1980, right? Like she needed to get some record producer on her side. No, like you need a YouTube channel, right? I really struggled. I have not been able to come up with a good thing like, oh, it's not going to work on YouTube. YouTube just did knock Pornhub off. So up until very recently, even porn was fine on YouTube, right? Even actual sex work. But now I think YouTube just banned Pornhub. So maybe that's the one thing, right? Like that's the one thing. So you should be doing your thing. That's how you grow a community. Do your thing, rant about some stuff. Crystal says, I just Googled it. Memoirs written by Black women. Not one was about travel. Maybe somewhere in the book they go, okay. Yeah, all right, get your books out there. Okay, get yourself an outline. Yeah, write some books. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Being a Black woman is helpful in a lot of these spaces where you think, oh, people are already doing that. Yeah, but not Black women, right? If people are already doing it, are they already doing it for an audience of Black women? Probably not. It's really helpful, I think. There were people talking about house sitting, but not people talking about house sitting for Black women, right? Whatever. There are people talking about personal finance, right? Adelia, but how many channels out here were talking about personal finance for Black women in the way that Adelia does it with her approach, which is not, is very anti-Dave Ramsey, right? I think is the best way to put it, most understandable way, without shaming people for like wanting to enjoy their lives, right? Yes, yes, an hour an hour and 10 minutes. The average person who watches that video on my sabbatical watches for an hour and 10 minutes. That's bonkers. That's bonkers. Even I, the queen of the 3-hour live stream, have never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. If a channel, for me, if the average view duration passes 30 minutes, I'm like, oh, this video is about to soar, right? Jewel Pearson's in my video where we talked about her tiny house. People watched that video for a long time and they kept saying, show us the house, show us the house. But I was not equipped to show pictures of her house. So I didn't show any pictures of her house, but we had a long view duration because of it, because people kept waiting for me to show her house. And that video, 30 minutes was like, unheard of at the time for me. 30-minute average view duration. An hour and 10 minutes on a video where these people are strangers, right? They're not here like you guys. We're friends, right? No, these are strangers. Long content. I'm saying don't sleep on it. Okay, so yes, shorts are exciting, but don't sleep on those long videos. People love to be taken on a journey. They love to be shown a transformation. Don't sleep on it. Not too long ago, I watched a 2-hour video on some people who bought like a chateau or something in Paris or France, or I don't even know where they were, child. Maybe England. And they renovated it and they did It was a 2 hour like compilation of a bunch of other videos. I watched it. I don't know them people, and I don't want to. I don't want to renovate a house. Black Culture Talks. Hi, highly recommend the YouTube Success Challenge. Thank you. Held me accountable, and I've garnered nearly 5,000 watch hours in less than 20 months. Congratulations. Not perfect, but I get it done. That's right, right? I'm not a teacher who's going to teach you how to do things the perfect way, because I don't do things the perfect way, right? But we get things done. That's good. That's wonderful. All right, 5,000 watch hours in less than 20 months. The rule, like the mark to get monetized is 4,000 hours in 12, right? 4,000 hours in a year. So that means you get ads on your channel and you get the money. You get a cut of that money. Oh, Halisi says there's an interpreter. Okay, with Marie. Okay. I didn't, I've never, so I guess I've never watched anything. I just know of her work because her work spread like wildfire, right? That's strange. I thought for sure I had heard, I knew I hadn't sat and watched her show, but I thought for sure, I would have thought for sure I heard her at least in an interview or something. But so I knew her work that well without hearing her voice. That's a mighty book. That's a powerful book. Marie Kondo did it. Her book, I'm telling you, her book is the blueprint. Her book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, is the template. It's the template for people who have a message to spread with the world. Ah, okay. All of y'all knew this. I never watched because I don't have stuff. I didn't watch, but I figured, she would have been on interviews and stuff. Okay. It never occurred to me that I'd never heard her talk. All right, Crystal. Safe travels. Merry Christmas. All right. Yeah. So book club friends, keep me posted. If y'all meet in person, tell me where and when. If you meet online and you want to do something online, tell me. But if you, seriously, I don't mind an in-person. Oh, Bowie, Maryland, that's close to Dover, Delaware. That is close to exotic Dover, Delaware. We read a variety of books. All right. Montaigne, put me on your calendar. Put me on your calendar. I would love to come and chill with your book club, talk about my book, talk about things. Nurse Marsha, I just started my YouTube channel, not many subscribers, getting a little discouraged. So much people saying do this, do that. Maybe I will do a rant next. Okay. So seriously, Marsha. Okay, so in the nurse world, healthcare world, I don't know if you need to be careful about the things that you say. I don't know. So nurses have rules, right? But again, you need to narrow down who your channel is for, right? The niche is the audience. Who is it for? Is it for people with a specific health concern? Is it for people in a certain age bracket? Is it for, right? Even though you're a nurse, your channel is not for everyone. Even though everyone needs health, good health, your channel cannot be for everyone. It needs to be for a specific niche. So you need to narrow down. And you can narrow down by specific disease sets, right? Or specific age groups and age concerns or whatever. And then you need to find out who else in that world is talking to these people. Who are they listening to right now? Whether you agree with them or not, you don't have to agree with them, right? But who else are they listening to? What are they watching? Then what videos on those channels are doing well? That's the video you make. We do this in my challenge, which I don't think we're not doing in January, but we will do sometime in February, right? You just need to I'm going to guess, having not seen your channel yet, I'm going to guess as a nurse, your problem is probably that you're just making all kinds of healthcare related stuff. It's going to need to be really specific, right? I'm trying to think of who does this well in the healthcare field and like the nurse in that world. Because like you could make a video for this week, you could make a video for someone who's got osteoporosis or whatever. And then this week you could make a video for someone who is dealing with acne, right? Those are not the same viewer. You don't have a niche. You're not in the right lane, right? They're both medical related or healthcare related, but these are two different people. Nurses need to narrow their niche. Everyone needs to narrow their niche down, but nurses need to get super specific. You can do some videos that aren't related to that, but nurses really need to narrow down. All right. I'm just scrolling through looking for questions real quick. Val Little, how can I get help writing my book? So there are book coaches out there who my concern with book coaches is that some of them don't specialize in a certain kind of book, which is what I would want. I would want a book. If I'm writing a memoir, I want a book coach who does memoir, right? If I'm writing a how-to business book, I want a coach who does business books, right? So I would look and see if I could find a coach who works in the type of book that I was wanting to write. If not, I would find more general help from someone who teaches in a style that I like. So if your book is nonfiction or fiction, you'll want to find someone who's teaching that type of book. Pinterest. So there are lots of podcasts on books. I would probably, seriously, I would start with a podcast. I like the Creative Pen, but she might be a little advanced. But she brings in speakers. The best thing about her podcast is that she brings in authors and coaches and speakers and stuff who do a specific thing, and from there you may find a person who can help you with your book. You know what I mean? So like the last interview I watched, I listened to her. Well, her last interview was with John Truby, and it was amazing. But he's not going to. Well, he does book coaching, but I don't know what kind of book you're writing. I would guess he's a screenplay coach. But like, I would find some podcasts for writers, and then their guests may direct you to the right coach. My main beef with book coaches is that they don't specialize. Who wants a book coach who doesn't specialize, right? This is, again, I'm gonna take everything from my perspective, but you should be a specialist in either the business how-to book or the memoir or the fiction, science fiction, something, the whodunit mystery novel. I think book coaches should specialize. So, not knowing what you do, I would say start with podcasts for writers, and their guests are going to lead you to the book coaches, the people who can help you. In the meantime, the podcasts alone are going to be super helpful. The Creative Pen is a wonderful podcast for writers. She's English. What I was going to say, so I don't care for the English accent in men, but the English accent in women, I got no problem with it. So she's English, and I feel like I should warn you. I feel like I should warn you that she's from the UK, but I have no problem listening to her. Sometimes when she has male guests, if they're English in particular, I can't. But others, I'm good to know. Good to go. Good to go. Yeah. What does that say, Halisi? Putting out an ask anyone who's working on fiction and has a great group to learn from. Fiction. I wish I could point you to somebody right now. I used Daniel David Wallace. He is English and he has the accent. He's difficult to listen to, but he's a good teacher. So for my cozy mystery, before I put it down, I liked him. I can't think of anyone else to point you to. But you didn't say coach though, Halisi. What did you say? Group to learn from. I would steer clear of writing groups. I would steer clear of writing groups unless your writing group is very niche specific. If you're writing a romance, you should be in a romance writing group. If you're writing a romance and you're in a writing group and they write in all genres, they're going to destroy your shit. They're going to make your book not any good. There are specific tropes that your book needs to hit, and they're going to talk you out of those tropes. And then when people go to read your book, they're going to be like, this is garbage. I would steer clear of writing groups. I would get some writing Coaching, yes. And I would write in a group, like, write, but not in a group where we share our stuff and we give each other feedback. I can't imagine that helps anybody unless your group is very specific. I would not advise, again, okay, I'm a novice at this. I'm a new person at this, but I can't imagine, having done a lot of group coaching for a lot of things, I can't imagine a writing group being helpful to you at all. Because the person who likes science fiction is going to hate your whatever you write. You write, I'm writing a cozy mystery, he's writing science fiction. His feedback is useless to me. But they all gonna want to give you feedback, and they're gonna have you so turned around. I would get a couple of good books by John Truby. Okay, so he is a screenwriting author, screenwriting coach, but I think he's the best. I think by saying I think, what I'm saying is, from what I hear in the world, everyone says he's the best. I've read Anatomy of Story, and I just ordered his newest book, which he's on a book tour right now. He's going on podcast right now talking about his newest book. If you're in the fiction space, John Truby is your teacher, and then you can get a coach a coach who can keep you on the accountability path. But I can't imagine writing fiction in a group. I can't imagine I can't imagine any way that would be helpful. I can't. I'm trying to think through it. I don't know. I don't have any. Hi, Shar. Do you know if YouTube restricts content relating to pleasure, intimacy, and sexuality? So they just made a big change. So I would look for some really recent info on this. They just made a big, so YouTube just kicked Pornhub off of YouTube, which tells me that they're about to, that maybe, perhaps, there will be other restrictions related to sex on YouTube coming. But I don't know. I would look for something really recent, right? Like a real YouTube. One thing they do is they send you updates. If you have a channel, look for their studio creator updates or whatever it's called. That's one thing that they do is they keep you posted on the rules. They're pretty transparent about the rules. They have not had, well, I mean, like, you've had to label your work. You've had to say this contains this contains sex, maybe not nudity. I don't think you could put nudity on YouTube anyway. I would say, Shar, this is the right question to ask, but I don't have the answer. I think YouTube is going to be more on your side than like a Facebook or maybe Facebook or Instagram. I think the real concern with YouTube would be the advertising dollars. I think I would guess, and this is only a guess, if my content contained sexual content, not sexual content, but sexual conversation, I would guess that advertisers would pay me less. So I would say you need to make sure that you have a way to make some money that's not just YouTube ad revenue. I don't know the real answer to this. But I do think YouTube is a place that will give you the answer. I think. Yvette says, can you explain how the YouTuber makes money from ads? Does user need to watch the ad entirely? Mm-mm. The user does not need to watch the ad entirely. The user doesn't need to buy or click. The YouTube creator gets paid by views of the ad. Based on the length of the ad, there is a point where YouTube considers this ad viewed or not viewed. So like when you wait 3 seconds and that skip ad comes up and you hit skip ad, that's not an ad view. But based on the length of the ad, there is a point where YouTube is like, okay, this is an ad that was viewed, so this creator gets paid for this view of the ad. And you don't need to buy. The ads don't work that way. You don't need to buy or click for the creator to get the ad revenue. I have YouTube Premium now. I recommend it. I forget. So I forget about ads. Sometimes people complain. They're like, there's too many ads on your video. And I'm like, I forgot to even look because I use YouTube Premium now. Um, um, so I recommend that. That the creator gets paid still when you have YouTube Premium. So yeah, ads are just like there is a point where the person gets paid for the ad view and you don't have to do anything but watch it. But I don't know how many seconds. I don't know how many seconds in to get the ad money. And it's also like fractions of a penny. We're not talking like if you sit and watch this ad, Stephanie makes 5 cents. No. Like my cost per mil, my average CPM is under $30 for 1,000 ad views. So someone has to watch, if $30 is 1,000 views of the ad, what's one? 30 divided by 1,000, is that right? 0.03. So we're talking about, did I do that wrong? 1,000 divided by 30? No, it's the other one. We're talking about 0.03. Is that 3 cents or 0.03 cents? It's not a lot. It's not a lot. Based on my point of view, what is the difference between a coach, mentor, and sponsor? Up until recently, people expected a mentor to be free. And right, if I would label myself a mentor, people would expect me to not charge. Technically, the work that I do is mentor work. I'm not a coach. I'm not a coach because I can't help anyone get a result that I haven't already gotten. I can help you with things that I already know how to do. That's mentorship. Technically, a coach can coach people through things that they have not gone through, right? I don't really understand the concept. I mean, you know what I mean. So technically what I do is mentorship, but I do it for money. And I don't use the word mentorship because people don't like it. People are used to not paying mentors. A sponsor is a totally different thing. A sponsor is a person who gives you money. Sponsor is financial. Mentor and coach both give you the skills, right? Help you learn or acquire the skills that you need to do a thing, whereas a sponsor gives you the money to do a thing. I don't I don't really care if my students who are in the world of coaching, I don't care if they call themselves coaches or mentors or facilitators. Doulas, nowadays everybody is the something doula, right? They're actual doulas who do doula work, but then other women are like, I am a sleep doula, right? And I am a whatever. I don't care about that. As long as the people who you're looking to get as clients, as long as they understand the term. I had one client who called herself the something architect, but the purpose architect or something like that. And I'm like, just call yourself a coach, right? Why are we getting so fancy? I think the main difference is people used to not expect to pay a mentor. Now, nowadays, I think you could call yourself a mentor because the mastermind concept has taken hold. People understand the concept of a mastermind and that you're coming to the mastermind to get some mentorship and to get some group coaching. And that's something that I think people are okay with paying for now. I think people overestimate how understandable the term doula is, right? The person who's looking for help with something, is she gonna look for a doula for that thing, or is she just gonna look for a coach? I don't hate it though. It's also cute. So I don't hate it. But I do think the cuter you get with the thing, the more you have to explain it. Right. This is coming from a woman whose website is vicarious.com. Right. I'm so sick of trying to explain things. Well, when I made the website, I wanted you to vacation vicariously through me. But now I don't. I want you to do it for yourself, but it's still called vicarious. Right. Don't do what I did. Just be plain. Plain talk always wins. Plain talk always wins. Donald Miller, he's a coach. He says, if you confuse, you lose. and that's it. That's it. If people are confused about what you do and who you talk to and who you help and what the transformation is that you bring to people, you lose. They're just going to move on to somebody who can. Auntie Lou talking about screenwriting and editing made me think about my dusty degree. From the 90s. Pull it out. Shake that dust off. Yeah, some people are intimidated by the title coach, and technically, I think some people believe that you need to have coaching certifications, which maybe, maybe to use the title coach, you should have some sort of coaching certification. I don't, but I'm gonna use the word coach because it's just easier for people to understand. I think that's right. I think some people are intimidated by it. It seems too official. Really, you can call yourself what you want, as long as you're very clear about what you do. Yeah. And then other people are skeptical of coaches because of scammers. Yes. Yeah, but I don't think that's a reason to not put the coach title behind your work, because your work will speak for itself. Like your work, you not in terms of you don't have to market it, but in terms of people knowing that you're not out here scamming. Excuse me. Hello, Miss Gwen's world. Miss Gwen is in Paris. Ooh la la, oui oui. That's my French. Grey poupon. That's my French. Enjoy your holiday. I did some writing this morning. Good. It's been peaceful. Your morning sessions helped me get started. Wonderful. Good. I'm glad. I hope you're enjoying yourself. How's the weather in Paris at Christmas time? And are you getting to a Christmas market? That's the only thing I'm jealous of. People who can go to Europe at Christmas time and go to those Christmas markets. I don't know that it's worth. Is it worth wearing a coat? If it's not worth wearing a coat, then I won't be jealous. But if wearing a coat is worth going to the Christmas markets, maybe sometime I'll go. Okay, I think we covered it all. The questions that I came here with, let me go back to that. From the other day you guys gave me. Oh, last question from Queen that I didn't cover. How do I schedule videos, editing, uploading? I think it's best to have a YouTube schedule that does not vary week to week. So make your schedule the same every week. It just makes things easier. The fewer decisions you have to make on when you're going to do something, the easier. So just have a schedule this is what I do for the week. I, in theory, would record a pre-recorded video and do a live stream every week. I think that's aggressive for most people. Most people don't need to do 2 videos in a week, but like more than 4 per month is really helpful. 6 or so videos per month on YouTube is really helpful. It helps the algorithm keep you on the top, right? Helps to keep you top of mind, I guess, to the algorithm. It's probably the easiest way to put it. So my schedule looks the same. I have Tuesday and Wednesday are my days off, and Thursday is my YouTube day. Thursday is the day that I'm supposed to research, outline, record, edit, and upload a video for my Stephanie Perry channel. That is something that I can do now in probably 3 hours. I have a full list of videos to choose from, video title ideas to choose from. Some of the ideas even have some research already beside it, right? I don't have to start from scratch in researching this video. But Thursday morning, Thursday 9 to 11 is blocked off on my calendar. You can't schedule anything with me during that time. I'm not available. I don't have to decide when I'm going to make a video. It's Thursday at 9 o'clock. Excuse me. I don't always do it, but it's much easier if I don't have to decide when I'm going to do it. Listen, we're going to do a calendar day on my other channel. We're going to do a day where we go pull out our calendars and we put our things, our goals, our vision board stuff, we're going to put it on the calendar. Because once you don't have to decide when you're going to do something, man, you've won. You've won. So I have that time scheduled. I don't do a whole lot of editing. So if a video, most of my pre-recorded videos are around 20 minutes. It takes me about 40 minutes to record a 20-minute video. And it takes me about another 40 minutes to edit it, just chop stuff off and all of that. So And then the research is usually not all that intensive, right? It's like, who else? I have a video idea. Who else in this world is making this kind of video right now? Can I find one that I want YouTube to like hook me up with? Can I find the thing about the YouTube algorithm is you can tell the algorithm that you're related to another popular video, and you can get recommended after that video. I teach that in the challenge and in the Get Found on YouTube masterclass. So I do that little bit of research and record and edit the same time every week that I make a pre-recorded video. And then, of course, my live streams are at the same time every day. That same Thursday, I'm also supposed to look for my guests. Sometimes I have guests scheduled out for 3-4 weeks in advance. Sometimes it's Thursday night or Friday night, and I still don't have a guest for Saturday. But the plan is on that Thursday, that is when I do all of that YouTube stuff, 9 to 11 a.m. Then I meet with Clarice at 11, and I'm on with my day. So that's what my schedule for YouTube looks like. It looks like me doing something on that calendar, and I don't have to decide when I'm going to do it. I don't have to say, when am I going to make another video? It's on the calendar. It's blocked off. Nobody else can take that time. That is my biggest tip. Don't make it so that you have to decide, which is also why the co-working at 5:30 in the morning has been so helpful. As long as you don't have to decide to do it, it's more likely to get done. If it's already on the calendar, you're more likely to get it done. Once you have to decide to do something, so many other things can pop up in the way. You can just say, no, I don't feel like it. But as long as you don't have to decide, you've won a good portion of the battle. Hey, Rashida. Rashida says, schedule your YouTube days. Yeah. So put yourself on a YouTube schedule where you're going to pre-record a video every week. And then pick the time when that's going to happen every week. And then you don't have to decide it. You don't have to fight to get it done. I'm trying to implement the 4-day work week to get tasks done for my PhD. Yeah. I'm mostly, okay. Auntie Lou, I'm starting my podcast in January. Good. Right now I'm working on a name for it and a little logo. I already have 20 topics written down. Okay. Stop all of that. Okay. Now for a podcast, you do need to have some sort of logo, but you can just make it your picture until you get something else. Okay. First, what you need is you need to know who your ideal podcast listeners, who are they already listening to? And then you need to find out what on those channels is doing the best. Your 20 topics, out of your 20 topics, I'm going to guess you've got 3 that people really want. That's harsh truth, okay, but that's the truth. Throughout all of those 20, you've got 3 that people care about. So instead of doing things in this direction, Auntie Lou, my advice to you as a person who coaches people on YouTube is to find out who you want to listen to this podcast. Who is your ideal audience? Find out who they're listening to. And then find out what videos of those people are doing the best. Those are your first videos. Then you can work in your others also, right? But your first 20 videos, if your first 20 videos have no research behind them, if your first 20 videos are videos you wanted to make, nobody's going to listen. Ain't nobody listening. Okay? Podcasts are notoriously time-wasty for the podcast creator because podcasting it's so easy to turn on your mic and go. If you don't want to waste your own time, if your goal for your podcast is to grow an audience, find out who you want that audience to be. Find out what they're already listening to and watching and reading and sharing on the internet. Stalk them on the internet. Seriously. What are they into? These are your first episodes. Sacred at Play. Yeah, schedule it. Scheduling time for all that stuff. Once you have to decide to do something, it's not, I don't know about y'all. I'm speaking for myself. Once I have to decide to do it, it's not getting done. If I have to decide if I'm going to go for a walk, do whatever, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But if it's on the calendar and that's the next thing, that's what I do now, then I do it. My calendar looks surprisingly booked for a person who doesn't do things, especially during the YouTube challenge. right? During the YouTube challenge, every square on my 1 hour calendar, right? Every square on my calendar is full from 5:30 a.m. till about 8 p.m., right? Now, how much of that is doing like actual work? 6 hours a day, right? But I don't have time to decide anything. I don't have time to decide anything. It's all scheduled. We're gonna do a calendar day instead of the last couple of years we've done what's it called? The last couple of years we've done vision boards, but this year we're going to do a calendar because the vision board is great, but like you need to actually do the things on the board. Put them on the calendar. Excuse me. This one is Santorsola. All I can tell you, it was the cheapest one in the grocery store. That's all I got. I don't hate it. It's the cheapest one they had. Yes, decision fatigue is real. Yes. So put yourself in positions where you don't have to make certain decisions. If you really want to do it, don't make yourself have to decide when to do it. Okay. She says she's doing that. Okay. Hello. Thank you very much, Ashley. Thank you kindly. All right, we got to the end. I think we got to the end of the pre-sent questions, and we got to the end of the chat as far as I know. Thank you very much for joining in, for having some drinks with me. Is there anything else I need to say before we go? Anything I need to announce? I don't think there's anything else going on. I'll have updates for you at some point on the book process. As I've said, I expect this to be with the editor for all of January. I don't expect to get it back until late January, early February. And then I expect to do my own my revisions for the month of February. So I wouldn't expect to see this book until then. But just in case, you don't want to miss out on the pre-order time. When it's time to get the book, you don't want to miss out on that announcement. So go to vicarious.com/job-detox to make sure that you're on the wait list so you get the announcement when it's time. When it's time to do some pre-orders and all of the good stuff. All right? Yeah. I really seriously, Alicia, seriously, as long has been my thing, my way to do things. As long as I don't have to decide when I'm going to do it, there's a better chance of it getting done, right? Don't leave it up for grabs. Don't leave your time up for grabs. Because it's always going to be a no for me, right? Do I feel like going for a walk? No, I don't. Okay? Do I feel I've got the yoga mat? Do I feel like pulling out the yoga mat and do it? No, I don't. But if it's on the calendar, there's a better chance, right? There's a better chance of it happening. So my calendar is super blocked off, even though I don't do a whole lot. Thank you. I love this Airbnb, so I hope to rent this long term. I haven't reached out to the Airbnb host. I'm here until January 6th, except for 2 days. I have 2 days in late December when I have to go someplace else. Somebody else booked it, but then I come back. But the neighborhood is an A+, and the house is a solid A. And so I hope I get to stay here. If not, though, it's probably going to be, there's a very good chance that it's going to be over budget for me. This is 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and there's a very good chance. And the kitchen is modern, so good chance it's over budget. But this neighborhood has a lot of townhouses and condos, so I'm pretty sure I'll stay in this neighborhood, even if I don't get to stay in this house. Okay, all right. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for celebrating with me. I'm going to finish up my little drinky drink and eat something. I brought some brownie mix, so I might just make some brownies. I might be having brownies for dinner. I can't believe Christmas is Sunday either. I can't believe it. I went and bought those little 2 straggly poinsettias to remind myself that that is Christmas time. I needed a visual reminder that it's Christmas time. So I know Connie and Joe Perry are not expecting any gift from me. I may figure something out and get something sent there, but it's not going definitely not going to be at Christmas time. It's not going to be in time. I don't think last year we exchanged the same money. My dad gave me money, and then I think I gave my mom money. I don't even know if I gave him anything last year for Christmas. We just we just exchanged the same money back and forth. They're over it too. They're over it. It is, one of them is really really just like barely holding on. I moved him for a couple hours in the daytime to get him some sun and see if he can kind of beef up a little bit. I intentionally bought one bigger and one smaller because I thought that was a thing to do. But the smaller one just is not thriving. He's not thriving. Yeah, so there's going to be a Saturday session. Saturday's going to be more of this because I don't think I'm going to do anything really to prepare. We will just celebrate our wins on Saturday and failures. Maybe we'll talk about our wins and our failures on Saturday. Things that we did do and things that we didn't do. Saturday will be a good opportunity for those of you who have done something like my YouTube challenge or house sitter school to give me updates, right? Because I love an update, and Saturday's going to be real chill. I'll probably finish off this Prosecco on Saturday morning, since it's Christmas Eve, right? And then that's it. Yeah, we're not going to do anything serious, and I'm not going to bring on a guest or anything. We're just going to chill for a couple hours on Saturday, or maybe an hour. I can't give my parents gift cards. One time, my dad opened up his wallet, and he had to have, I don't know, $3,000 in gift cards in his wallet. He won't spend them. I don't know. He won't spend them. I don't know. I can't explain. It was like Christmas or Thanksgiving or something. It was a holiday, and there was a bunch of people in the house and sitting at the kitchen table. And he was like, "Oh, I got gift cards." And he just starts throwing them on the table. I got gift cards. I'm like, that's real money. I spent real money on some. We were all just looking like, what? So that was the last. I've never again. With my mom, it's easy. I just be like, you can come visit me. I'll make that your gift, right? But he won't even come visit. So no gift card. I don't really give them gifts, but they don't really they just give me cash, and sometimes I'll just give them cash. We're over it. I'm 48. They've done it. They've done enough shopping for gifts. It was like ridiculous. We were because like everybody at the table was like people who would have bought him gift cards, Father's Day. It was family. And we're all sitting there like, no, right? And gift cards to places that he goes, like Pep Boys, right? You go to Pep Boys every week, like literally every week. You could have pulled that gift card out at any time and spent that thing, but no. Right? Just throw it on the table. We're sitting there like, that's money. That's real money that I have spent on that thing. So that's why I don't worry about it. And then for a while I used to buy them tickets to like plays and stuff, but I accidentally bought them tickets to a play in Wilmington. I bought them tickets to August Wilson's The Piano, and my mom was like, every time they said nigger during that play, your dad wanted to jump out of his seat because they're surrounded by white people. I forgot. I was like, I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I totally forgot. I was like, y'all like to go out and do stuff. I bought you tickets to this play. Now you're sitting in here surrounded by white people listening to. So then I quit buying them those too. They just went to Sight and Sound. I could have, if I'd thought ahead, I could have bought them that ticket. They went to Sight and Sound, towards the Christian play. I don't even know which one. Mom, are you still here? Which one did y'all watch? I don't even remember which one she watched, which one they saw. They do stories from the Bible, right? But they bring in real animals and stuff. So now I just wait. I wait for them to send me some cash, and then I send them some cash. All right. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, they were just in his wallet. I don't think she's not the kind of person who would go in there when she was going to the store to get a gift card, right? So they're just going to sit there and expire. Like, All right, ain't nobody buying you no more gifts. That was you. You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. She's not the kind of person who would go in there for them. I probably would if I was there longer. If I was there more, if I was home more. One year when I was flat broke, I wrote everybody a poem. Took me months, but it was an experience. Yeah, back when I didn't have money, I used to bake. I did bake for people. A couple years running. So that was good. Yeah, the August Wilson, the piano. Yeah. It's a black play about a black family. And at some point somebody calls somebody a nigger. I don't know. And I mean, she was like, he did not enjoy himself. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I forgot, right? I've read this play at some point in my life, I'm sure, but I totally forgot. And so I forgot and I forgot and even if I had remembered it was in there, I would have forgotten that he was going to be in a room full of just white people and them, basically, in Wilmington. So whatever. I made a mistake, so now I don't buy them anything. Now I don't buy them anything. Yeah, I'm just swapping the same money back and forth. I would say it's the thought that counts, but there's not a whole lot of thought behind that. If he would come to visit, it would be easy, right? Because when my mom came to visit me in Curacao, I was like, "This is your birthday. This is Mother's Day, right? This is all of that. Okay, don't expect nothing from me." And I mean it. This is it. But he won't go anywhere, so it's hard to do that, right? And he's a Leo, so he'll pout, Leos. So I have, whatever. So exchanging the same money is the easiest way. Exchanging the same money is the easiest way. Everybody's happy. All right. Okay, guys. So Saturday. Saturday's just going to be more of this. Hopefully, my champagne will still have a little bubble to it. If not, I have some ginger ale. I will put some ginger ale in it. I will just be kicking back, talking about the year and our Christmas plans and all of that. Okay. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate your congratulations on this stage of my book journey. I'll keep you posted on everything. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.